Good evening, folks, and welcome back to the Toon Review. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Paul. I am joined tonight by Lady Sam and, of course, Billy Bob. Good evening.
Oh, good evening to all the Toon Review Massive, the Magpie Massive, and you absolutely fantastic people out there in Viewerland.
Indeed. And Sam just gives a smile now because it's,
I mean, I can't follow that up really, but I think we're all braced for impact here. I mean, I hope you had a lovely holiday, but how's it going,
absolutely.
Paul?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I did that earlier video today, which I have to self-admit, I was a lot calmer than I thought I might have been, to be honest, because, I mean, I'll probably, be a bit firmer tonight on the live show because we've got an audience with us, and I think I need to put across exactly how I feel about a certain player who is just a disdain on Newcastle United Football Club, quite honestly, and also the way the transfer window has gone. I mean, bullshit doesn't do it justice, and I am sick to fucking death of Newcastle United putting offers in and then. It seems to take forever. This Sesko thing is dragging on. It turns out we've given 48 hours or something like that to make his decision. And then we walk away. Apparently, we've got somebody else in mind, a Champions League winner, but it refuses to say any reports saying who the name is. But Anthony, don't start on me already, right? Please don't come up with this kind of crap, right? Because quite frankly, it's all bollocks. This man has treated Newcastle United like shite. And I do not give a rat's ass what you think about it, right? This is how I feel about it, not you. And I will slag him off. Because, last year, let's look at Anthony Gordon, whose boyhood team wanted to sign him. He was disappointed, yes, by clearly that it didn't go through. But did Anthony Gordon go missing? Did he kick off a stink? Did he do anything? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But Isak decides to walk away and disappear off the face of the planet and then go train in Spain. He had a scan on his injury and it wasn't a serious injury. Now, why, when we go in to try and promote the football club in Asia to try and grow the club on that tour, whether he plays or not doesn't matter to me one jot. He should be there. As one of the best players, he should be there promoting the football club. And he couldn't be asked. He couldn't be asked because he wants to go and play for Liverpool. And it's just a farce, and it's an embarrassment to our football club. We took the risk of signing Alexander Isak when none of the cartel wanted to take the risk on him from Sociedad. We took the risk on him, and we have grown him into the player he is today. With the help of Eddie Howe and the coaches, they've made him what he is now. And in fact, he is shit on Eddie Howe from the highest point. And I was so happy that Eddie Howe came out the other day and said about Newcastle United, we are Newcastle United. You have to earn the right to train. In other words, telling Isak to make an apology or fuck off. And quite honestly, an apology is not good enough for me. I agree with 100% what you said on Friday night, Sam. He's done for me. I can't see him coming back from this. And even if we give him another contract with a release clause in it for another year's time, what's the fucking point of doing that? We get a player that doesn't want to be at Newcastle United. And we as a channel have said all along that if we have anybody who doesn't want to play for that black and white shirt, to bugger off and get the hell out of there. And that's how I feel. But I honestly, questions need answering from Newcastle United as to what is going on behind the scenes to all this transfer nonsense. I mean, it's bullshit. Teams are coming in and picking players off that we're interested in, getting the deals done in a day. Yet we take 3-4 freaking weeks. Something's not right, guys. I mean, look, I'm getting it off my chest now, well and truly, but Isak for me has been a massive disappointment because I genuinely did not think for 1 second he was like that. And I don't subscribe to all this nonsense about, his agents are advising him, his representatives are advising him. He's a grown-ass man with a brain. He knows right from wrong. And the way he's gone about this whole situation has gone. It's absolute shit. Anyway, there you go.
But Paul, how do you really feel?
Well, I'm angry, Sam. I'm angry because this is my football club.
I disagree with lots of that, lots and lots of it. As you know. Yeah, I do disagree with it. And at the end of the day, he's a financial commodity to Newcastle United.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, he's a footballer who, in a position where we only have one striker at the club, who is a 2-year-old, raw, kind of lots of things to improve on.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the season without Alexander Isak or an alternative world-class striker in the side. At the moment, we can't sign one. And also, we're not getting off the money we want for him.
Yeah.
There is a route back for him. Unless we sign a replacement, or unless Liverpool come up with £150 million, then he would play for Newcastle United next season.
Jan says, Paul, you do not have the bank account to make these statements, as we do not know what is good. What the fuck are you talking about, Jan? Seriously? I don't have the bank account for what? I seen your comment the other day, mate, and it's bollocks, man. We all know what's going on. He hasn't turned up for the tour. Don't come at me like that. I'm giving you my honest opinion here. And I'm sorry, but I don't have the bank account of what? Jesus, wet man.
Listen,
but anyway.
40 years ago, I'd have agreed with you. When finances weren't as they are now, £150 million, you can't just chuck it away and let his value depreciate because you've got some kind of, he's behaved like an arsehole, which he has done, by the way. I'm not denying that. He has behaved like an arsehole. At the end of the day, it's a £150 million asset. We can't afford to just let go. And next season, if we keep another year, just think next season, Bayern Munich could be after a centre forward because Harry Kane will probably be too much for them to offer them.
Yeah.
Barcelona will definitely want one because Lewandowski, his contract ends. Let's get into a middle of a bidding war.
Yeah.
But let's get into a middle of a bidding war and we can make more than 50. Absolutely.
Yeah. But look, on the flip side, right, and I mentioned this in the early video today, okay? From Isak's point of view, okay, let's just flip the coin. Now, this isn't just Isak, by the way. This is the signings that we've made since the takeover. They were sold a project, all right? They were sold a project. We haven't heard naff all about the new stadium, which was supposed to be announced in April. Nothing has been said about that. We've then the training ground. No new training ground has been announced. There's no sponsorships coming in for the training shirts or anything like that. And this Man City thing is bollocks. We can get sponsors for that kind of thing, right? And the players aren't coming through the door. So when you tell Isak that you're a £150 million asset, then Newcastle United surely have to pay him for being a £150 million asset. So if he's asking for 300 grand a week, surely that is what £150 million players are going for at the minute. So I understand Isak is upset about that. And he wants to be paid what he feels he's worth. And Newcastle United are looking at Isak and telling him, yes, you're a world-class player. You're worth 150 million quid. So you've got to pay him. You've got to give him the money that these kind of players are earning across the world. And if we can't do it, then you have to sell. But I think we're right to stick to our guns. We're 150 million pound valuation on him. If Liverpool want him, offer what he's worth. But it's the way he's gone about it that I'm pissed off at. I understand that he's been given promises, etc. Mitchell, with a contract situation, fucked off. However, it's the way he's gone about it, Sam.
Yes, thank you. I think I've been quite patient there waiting.
Yeah, you have. Yes.
Thank you. Totally agree. If we look at both sides of the coin, yes, we've had some failings as a club. Shit flows downstream. We've got some problems with the top brass at this club. We know the gaps, the club's known the gaps and haven't hired enough people within the right amount of time to make sure this window was going to be a success. We knew that it was going to be a challenge and we've failed in the most embarrassing way publicly. We are an absolute laughing stock, which is really just turning the hurt on a little bit more. What I would really like to do is probably challenge Billy's point where he's disagreeing that we're not in a position to be able to kick on in a place without Alexander Isak. He's a fantastic player. He's world class. He's elite. And I agree with you, Paul. Like, if he's worth that much, then you have to pay him those type of wages. However, the lad has signed a contract. We don't have to do anything. But the byproduct of that is, do you want that kind of toxicity in the dressing room, that type of disrespect around the other players. I, for one, am so thrilled that Eddie Howe has come out and made the statements that he has, that no, just because you are top class, that doesn't give you a free pass to act like a petulant fucking teenager. So I do want rid of him. I think we can get a replacement in if we pull our fingers out our bloody arses and actually get into gear and get some strikers in. I don't want him around my club. I don't want him in a black and white shirt. I don't think he deserves to wear the black and white shirt. So I would rather let him go. I think we've got plenty of strength, and if we get the signings that we want, we can do it without the lad. And I just don't want that around my club.
I think it's a good point, Sam, because I think you guys touched on this when I was away. That the photo that Joe Linton posted on Instagram was a big thing for me, was a big indication of how the players felt about Isak's conduct. The fact that he put that, and then Bruno also made some other comments about he will only play in Brazil if it's not Newcastle United. Mm-hmm. And the commitment that these guys have shown over this whole rigmarole, I think is absolutely magnificent. But that photo, Billy, said a lot to me, because those words and who was in the background said a lot for me.
Yeah, it's got a lot of making up to do, a lot of apologies to make, and begging at that. And I don't disagree with that. I think that's bang on. And I wouldn't fancy his job of doing it either with the characters in the dressing room, but he's going to have to apologise too, the likes of Dan, Joe Linton, Bruno, etc. But he's going to have to, and because if this remains a stalemate, as Liverpool obviously don't want to pay the £150 million, then I'm afraid he's going to have to stay. He's going to have to stay, because if we haven't got the money we want for him, then he stays. He's got 3 years left on his contract. He won't devalue in a year. He's got a World Cup coming next year. He won't sit on the bench and sulk and go on strike. He will want to play. We get him for another year, and we hopefully get another 25 goals out of him.
I mean, Billy, I admire your optimism, mate. I really do. But I mean, look, this is what the beauty of the Toon Review is. We don't all just sit there and go, yes, I agree. Yes, I agree. We all have different opinions on here, and that's what really works for me. I just think you've been a little bit easy on him, Billy. I do. But that's.
I think he's got to apologise. I think he's got to get down on his knees and beg for apologies.
Yeah.
And admit he was in the wrong of the way he's gone about things.
Yeah.
But can you really blame him for going about things the way he has? As you just said, what's been happening in the background?
Yes.
Well, whoa. Billy, before Sam bursts a blood vessel, just like I've said, Billy, I think if Newcastle United, like we've turned around and said, you are a £150 million asset to this football club, then I understand Isak being very, very angry and upset at the situation, because if he's the world-class player that Newcastle United clearly value him at, then he is worth the 300 grand a week. You look at any other club across the world who have a player worth that much money, you are guaranteed that they are on that kind of money every week. So I understand that, but there's a right and wrong about about what you're doing here. And listen, we've seen players go on strike before. It all started with, was it Van Hooijdonk back in the day with Nottingham Forest? He was one of the first to do it.
Yeah,
there's a right and wrong about it. And what I'm trying to say is, Isak has his own brain. He doesn't need to be advised by agents or representatives telling him what is the right thing to do and the wrong thing to do. He knows. And I would hope that Isak's feeling rather embarrassed about his behavior right now. But quite frankly, I don't think he is. And that's the worrying thing for me. Yes, he turned up at the training ground today, but nobody else was there because they arrived early hours of this morning back from Korea, and they've been given a day off. So Eddie Howe wasn't there. The players weren't there. And he stayed for a few hours and then he buggered off again. What I want to see is what happens when the players are there and Isak turns up. But I think the first thing that Isak has to do is go straight to the manager without not speaking to nobody. Eddie Howe needs to be his first port of call, whenever that may be, because I think what Eddie's done for Isak over the years has been fantastic. He's brought Isak on from what he already was when we signed him at Sociedad to what he is now. And I won't have anybody telling me anything else, because Eddie Howe is the major. He's worked with Isak for a few years now and brought him on to be even better than he was when we bought him. Nobody else wanted to take a risk on signing him. We did. And we've made him into the player he is now. Yes, he needs to take a lot of praise as well, because he's worked his ass off to get where he is now as well. But something for me isn't right behind the scenes, because, you know, this whole Isak thing, and we've heard from the likes of Liam Kennedy, etc., saying that there is other players a little bit, you know, a little bit miffed as to what's going on with the project they were originally sold when they signed. There's been a lot of changes. We've had DOFs come in and go and change around behind the scenes. Now, he signed a new contract for 120 grand a week. What was that, a year ago, year and a half, or whatever it may be?
About that.
But then we've turned around now this summer and said, right, you're a 150 million pound player. So I understand Isak getting a bit miffed, saying, look, I should be getting that money. That you value me that high, then pay me that money. So I understand that. But the way he's gone about it is completely and utterly wrong. He has shit on Eddie Howe, he's shit on the club, and he's acted in a disgraceful way, in my opinion. And I do agree with you, Billy. If he has to stay, by God, he's got some groveling to do, but not just to the players, because he's got a fan base who are really pissed off with him as well.
Well, if he knocks in a hat-trick against Liverpool on the second game of the season, I think that'll all be forgiven. Seriously.
I don't.
It won't.
I don't. I really don't. I think, yes, we'll be happy, obviously, that he scored goals, but I don't think that just clears the air.
There's ways and means. If he does kisses the badge, all that stuff, there's ways and means of doing things.
But he's lying, Billy. He's lying. If he kisses the badge, he's telling a lie. Yeah. Because he wants out of Newcastle United.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean he wants to go to Liverpool, does it?
Oh. Hey!
Come on. He cannot. He can.
Until he says it out loud, we can surmise all we want.
I'm sorry. Well, all right, Praro. How many more clues do you want that he wants to fucking be out of here and that he doesn't care about this club anymore? What's it gonna take?
Billy, the thing is, right?
Because he said I'm exploring my options. He's entitled to do that.
Yes, but that means he wants out. If you want to stay at a football club, Billy, you don't turn around and say, "Oh, I want to look at my options to leave. I want to see what's about."
Well, if you're committed to the football, and realise he's better off wherever he is, can't he?
If you're exploring options to leave the club, Billy, that is not 100% committed to Newcastle United. And I'm sorry, if he scores a goal against Liverpool and kisses the badge, I'll be more pissed off. I'll be really pissed off with him, because I think it's an insult to the fans. Because he's kissing the badge.
I think it's a way back for him. I think simple as that is a way back.
I think he's kissing the badge to crawl back in. And I don't think us as fans are that stupid. He does not want to be at Newcastle United. That is clear as day for everybody. He does not want to be at
doubts. Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't mind that he wants to explore his options, if that's the line that we're going to hang this disillusion on, that we can go about forgiving people now. Absolutely not, because Paul's right what he said earlier. There's a way that you go about things. You can happily explore your options. I understand him wanting to do so, given the shit show that's going on with the hierarchy. I get that completely. However, you've not gone to Celtic, whether that was Eddie's choice or not. I'm scratching my head on that one now. Then you've not travelled with the team. That was huge for our international fan base. The people who've actually travelled from all over the world, and those fans out there who didn't get to see him, was just, even if he couldn't play, he should have been there doing promo, supporting the club. It was a huge opportunity for us. He's let us down. That there was meant to be talks about trouble in the training camp as well, that he was causing shit there. So that's another thing, disrupting the camp from the get-go, which, to be fair, kind of showed.
We don't know that.
I'm just speculating. I'm just giving you the laundry list of bad behaviour. So you're now coming out to me and saying, "Oh, well, I'm sure all will be forgiven." I mean, what would it take? Like a public statement? What's he going to go on camera and grovel? Absolutely not.
Billy, can I ask you a
put his eggs in one basket. It's red.
Back, then we can understand that he's made an apology.
Billy,
if he scores a goal and everyone's all over him, he's made an apology.
Right, Billy, can I ask you a question? Right. If I go next door after the show and I go up to Susan, or any one of our subscribers or viewers goes to their partners, wives, husbands, and walks up and says, I want to explore my options.
Some people do, don't they?
Right, yes. But how do you think Susan would feel or anybody's partner would feel?
Well, that's a ridiculous analogy to make.
It's not a ridiculous. It's the same thing.
It is. It's not.
Come on, Billy.
There's no financial implications in your marriage, is there?
If he's committed to... Is there not?
Yes, there is.
If he's committed to
not
this...
Not for that case.
Billy, if he's committed to Newcastle United... He would not say that he wanted to explore his options. That is another way of saying I want out. Because I tell you something, if he handed in an official transfer request, there is a lot of comeback on him for that. Sponsorship deals end.
Well,
there's lots of things happen.
And financial stuff, yeah.
So basically, it is another way of saying I want to leave. And if you can't see that, then nobody's going to make you see that. But that, to me, is exactly how it's shown over this last couple of weeks when I've been away. I've been looking at everybody's opinions and I've been thinking about what Isak's done and what he said. But I cannot get past the fact that he wants to leave Newcastle United. And he's acted in an absolutely terrible way. Absolutely terrible way. And you can put your ridiculous analogies up your arse as far as I'm concerned. Because...
I mean, yeah, Johan Kabay went on strike. He was welcome back. He actually literally went on strike. He was welcome back.
Billy, I don't think everybody felt the same for Kabay that they did before that incident happened. And I don't think a lot of people got over that. And proof of that was when he came back with Palace because he was booed.
But in the end, he did go, didn't he? But
yes, but I just think in all of this, there is a right and wrong way of going about things. If he's
I agree with you. I agree with that.
Go to the manager, have a quiet word with him and say, look, I think I want to move on. I want to win the opportunity to win the league and Champions Leagues and stuff like that. And do it that way, but still be part of Newcastle United until something happened. You know, and then if it comes to leaving, he leaves. But he leaves with his head held high because he's behaved in a professional manner. And that's all I'm saying. I don't listen. Of course, I understand Isak wanting to be paid the money that Newcastle United valued him at. That's just common sense. But at the same time, the way he's gone about things is just wrong. Is just wrong.
If he's replaced, if Sesko comes tomorrow, then I'm all for selling him. But for me, we need a world-class striker. And if we don't get Sesko or any replacement, we can't go for the season with just with a solo up front. Right. We can't.
Well, I know you couldn't do this when I was away, so I'm going to do it now. I'm going to put a poll up saying, would you welcome Isak back? Because I want to see how everybody feels on this.
Yeah, someone said he's a pure rat. Let the Dippers play, it's Liverpool pay £150 million. Yeah, but they haven't offered £150 million. Nowhere near it.
No, they haven't. And that pissed me off as well.
Until that happens, then he's a Newcastle United player.
Yeah. I said this the other night. I think Liverpool has played a blinder here because he's been so disruptive and he's become so toxic in his behaviour. We will let him go for less. I guarantee it. We'll let him go for less because we can't. Eddie is not going to stand for that behaviour. He's already given us a hint that he's not going to stand for that type of behaviour. Yes, he's contractually obligated. We're going to have to. I don't think Eddie's going to want him. I really don't.
Because 150 million only gets us 100 after it's all took away.
I understand that, but I don't think we're going to get it. I think
120.
We've been painted into a corner.
Yeah, I honestly think if Liverpool do offer, say, 135, 140 with add-ons, I think we sell him. But I don't think, and I agree with you on this, Billy, is that I don't think we sell him until we have a replacement. And if we don't get a replacement, then it's going to be a very, very difficult situation for all concerned, because that statement that Eddie's made about we are Newcastle United, you have to earn the right to train, gives me the impression that even if Isak does stay, he won't be around the first team for a while. And, that he's going to do something different with Isak. I don't know what, whether he's in the naughty corner or what. But anyway, we need to go through some super chats, guys, because they are mounting up again. Peter McCardle, a member for 18 months. Looks like we've wasted another week on Sesko. Whoever comes in now will not start the opening game. Total shit show in the transfer window. We'll come on to that in a minute. Steve Marley's gifted a Toon Review membership. Keith Dyke's been with us for 41 months. Thank you, Keith. What's the going odds? Sesko picks NUFC, 8 to 10%. Steve Marley with a super chat. Thank you very much. Paul Toon Dununda, member for 30 months. Welcome back, Paul. You left and we did nothing. You come back and much the same, really. Isak deserved all this shit coming his way. SoCal Toon Soko, member for exactly a year. Welcome back, Paul. Everyone has been great in your absence. They have. With Isak, it's simple for me. Bruno, Joe, Gordon want to stay. He hasn't said that. End of. Ian Chilvers, member for 30 months. Thanks, Ian. Why have the media got such a hard on over us? Last year was bad with Gordon, but this year is just unreal. Nice tan, Paul. I don't know what the media thing is. I mean, we'll speak about that a bit later as well. Dan Madgen, a member for 13 months, says, does anybody else find it distasteful that Man United have no money when it comes to sacking staff, and suddenly in the transfer window they have loads? Because it's rigged, my friend. Adam Bell with a £5 super chat. God, I missed you, Paul. Give it both barrels. The summer's been shambolic. Steve Marley with another super chat. Thank you. Von Bulow. Paul's holiday chill lasted all of 2 minutes. I never once chilled when I was away, mate. It was stiflingly hot the whole time. So lack of sleep, lack of everything when I've come home. Eric Amaral says, Paul, well said. It's been shambolic. Dylan says, Paul's heart rate just shot through the roof. Love the passion. Still think we'll get Sesko. Cautious optimism. Interesting. Hell's Hussar says, Paul's back. Paul with a super chat says, I can't believe why we wasted so much time bidding on players that we can't pay them wages. That's what we're going to discuss when we talk about Sesko. Šeško, I've been looking at yes. Ricky Thomas says, disgraceful, disrespectful, dishonourable. Shame on you, Isak. My shirt is already in the bin. We scrimp, save, and work hard and go without to support you, and that's how you treat us. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that's a fair comment. To be honest, I don't think that's a fair comment. I don't think he's gone about it the wrong way.
Yeah. John Cook says Isak has been fantastic for us, but his attitude has been stinking and disgraceful. The only reason this move is possible is because of what we have done for him. Agree totally, Paul. This summer has been bullshit so far. Insanity says, I understand from Isak's POV with broken promises and wanting a bigger club, but there's no need to be a knobhead. Embarrassing the club, disrespecting the fans and your teammates. Get him gone. Joke. Graham Ritchie says, welcome back, Paul. Hope you had a great holiday. The guys did a great job in your absence. Indeed, they did. Sam says, why are we faffing about with Sesko when he wants Manchester United? Another 2 weeks wasted on this. Well, we don't know that for certain. George, good evening. I've missed the rants these last couple of weeks. Thanks, matey. Dave Bannon, member for 6 months. For me, if your owners pay money for Nunez in the Saudi League, that tells me that Newcastle is not the priority. What do you guys think? I think you guys have already really discussed that anyway. Lyric league games start next week, Saturday. I'm worried, to be honest. Steve Marley with another super chat. David Smith, member for 38 months, says, surely the time to explore your options are at the end of your contract that you've signed, i.e. 3+ years' time. I don't think that really matters in football. Contracts mean fuck all in football, quite honestly. Sean says, just playing devil's advocate, what if he said he wanted to look at other options, was employed to get higher wages? Well, he's gone about his behaviour in completely the wrong way if that's the case. Dylan says, explore my options. Translation, I'll try and go anywhere else, and if it all else fails, then I'll stay, but as my final resort. Jens, I'm super annoyed, but Poole has been behaving very badly, and as well, all the media has tried to help them to engineer a move away. It's lols. Chippers says, do Liverpool even want Isak like Gordon last season? Could they just be unsettling us as a club? Jens, however, I will welcome him back if he fires in. Okay. I'm sure Isak had this planned way before Celtic. Ooh. Eric says 120 million plus Harvey Elliott, get it done. Channel Right, he embarrassed us not going to the Far East. Darren Cox, a member for 6 months, get 2 strikers in before we let him go and spend what's needed to get more in. Stop counting the pennies now. Raymond Gattis is a new member of the channel. Thank you, Raymond. It's just Bob, says Paul, get that heart monitor on. I'm fine, honestly. My blood pressure is normal. I'm okay. I'm just pissed off like a lot of you guys are. Alex says, evening everyone, fuck Isak, fuck Liverpool, fuck PSR, fuck FFP, fuck the Premier League, fuck Richard Masters, fuck a lot of them. Sign Sesko, thank you and good night. Freddy says, Isak is done for me. He should be treated like Fraser. Let him play with the under-21s. He will destroy the dressing room and that's not worth it. Nufc above all. Kieran says, if Sesko joins Newcastle United, I don't think it means we should sell Isak because we can't expect Sesko to play 38 Premier League games. Plus both Cup games and Champions League games. I'll say 3 words for you. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I like coffee. Says LFC sold Coutinho for 142 million in 2018. Isak equals 150 million plus. Yes. Well, I see Coutinho's been mentioned a lot. Nick's picks, don't think we will have time to reinvest the 150. And Steve Marley, it cost me £10 to figure out the super chat.
Thanks.
Well, right. Let's talk about Sesko then, shall we? Because it's, I mean, listen, Ben Jacobs reported this, and I'm not, you know, that man's just a cock in the river like some of the other ones, as far as I'm concerned, with his vendettas against Newcastle United. However, a few other places have reported this now, that Newcastle United are actually sort of giving a timeline to Sesko of 48 hours. He has to make the decision or we move away. What do you reckon of that, Billy?
Well, quite rightly as well, but it doesn't matter who we bid for. One of the cartel seats come in and try and, what's the word for it? Gazump us, basically. Wages-wise, because they can afford to pay the wages. Because we're fishing a bigger pool now, we're not shopping at Waitrose now. We're now at bloody Harrods or Fortnum and Mason, whatever. And it's impossible to compete with these so-called bigger clubs. I don't think they are bigger clubs personally, but they can pay more wages, and that's where we're struggling. I don't think Sesko will come. No, absolutely not. I think
you think you'll go to Man United?
Absolutely.
Where are you sitting on it, Sam?
I would like to think that he would want to come here, but again, the rat has made us look like absolute clowns. We're a laughing stock. We're an absolute joke at the moment. That's the other thing that this has done. Reputational harm for our club right now. It's been awful. I would love it if he could come to the club. I know that Alex has done a few transfer shows on him in the past, and he looks fantastic. We would still need another striker. Don't everybody get excited here. We would still need somebody else through the door. But we've rightfully so had to put a timeline on it because we don't have a lot of time to shop around for somebody else. For me, our recruitment team, I think we're going in far too low. It's just taking more time to get people back to the table with a reasonable offer. We're not really thinking about what contract terms need to look like in advance of these. I think this is why we're taking too long on deals. We are taking far too long to get deals done. And it's given our opposition the opportunity to swoop in. Like Billy says, we're taking too long. We are not equipped as a recruitment team to get this over the line currently.
Michael Burge, Romano and Downey, useless fraudulent chances. I'm sorry. Romano, yes. I've been really pissed off with Romano because of his agenda. Clearly,
isn't he?
Yeah. As for Keith Downey, I think Keith Downey's absolutely superb. And I will back Keith Downey 100% over, quite frankly, everybody else. Keith Downey is always honest. And the fact is, he's picked up on some of the in-the-know accounts on Newcastle and put them straight over the last couple of days, which has been absolutely hilarious. But Keith Downey, I would listen to him over a lot of them. Ornstein and Downey probably the two that I most listen to. Obviously, we've got the Northeast journals like Liam Kennedy, etc., who I really have a lot of respect for and watch a lot of their videos as well. But there is a lot of the Romano and Ben Jacobs, all of these that are jumping on the back of the cartel clubs and pushing. Look at what they've been doing about Isak. It's been horrendous, man. It's been horrendous, the push. But whenever you listen to Keith Downey, he always speaks with so much common sense, never gets carried away with stuff. And as far as I'm concerned, I'd listen to him over Romano any day of the week. So I think you've been a little bit harsh on Keith Downey there because I think Keith Downey's absolutely superb. I've got a lot of time for Keith, and I think he's absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, disappointed with that comment about Keith Downey. I really am. Because some of Keith works hard. Craig Hope, a lot of, suggestion about Craig. But listen, Craig is very rarely wrong with what he puts out. He's brave to put the stuff out that he does. Sometimes it's all doom and gloom. But to be fair, it is all doom and gloom at the minute. So we don't have a lot to shout about with regards to the transfer window. So, you know what? I think Keith Downey for me is up there as one of the best anyway. So, and some of the Geordie journals are fantastic as well. I'd listen to them all day long as well. So there is some good ones out there. There is some real, in the gutter ones, but there is some very good ones out there as well. But the thing is with Sesko, what annoyed me a little bit was they gave Newcastle United a price and Newcastle matched that offer and they rejected it, which I found a little bit weird because I say if you're giving a club a price to sign a player and then they match that, and then you turn around and say, no, we want £5 million more or 10 million more. We're getting chased around a little bit again. But listen, Newcastle may well have taken the stance now, Billy, that we've been pushed around so much in this transfer window and been so slow on things. Finally, Newcastle said, look, 48 hours, take it or leave it, or we look elsewhere.
And quite right. And this has been said before now. The season's fast, it's fast approaching. We've only got 10 days, 11 days away from the season start. We can't go into the season, as I say, and I've said it 100 times, with Will Asuda as our straight centre forward. It's simple and straightforward as that for me.
No, I agree. Sam, are you happy with the stance?
I couldn't agree more. We need two strikers. We do. Asula, he's not a threat. He's keen but green, I would say. He's desperate to get on the ball. He's desperate to do something, but he's got no finish at the moment. He needs more time. The lad needs more time. We need two strikers. One of them needs to be a top class striker as well. If we can get Sesko, great. I'm glad that we've put a deadline on it, but I hope that we've thought about, options D and E after this as well. We need the backups after the backups here. This is where we are.
Well, apparently it's Gonzalo Ramos of PSG. He's the next one on my list.
Yeah, I have a feeling that too. They were talking about Billy. But when do these strikers turn around and say, "Well, I'm clearly not your first choice. Why should I be interested in joining Newcastle United?" You've got that to think about as well when you're looking for players now. Well, why didn't you come for me earlier on if you're that desperate to have me? I think the Sesko one is look. The Manchester United thing, I think there's been rumours that Manchester United just haven't got the funds to buy him for what they're asking, which, I don't understand where they get the money from for transfers and wages, as somebody said earlier on in the show. I find it astounding that they can still pay those wages, yet they're laying off canteen staff and behind-the-scenes staff all over the place. I think it's an absolute disgrace. And if I was those people, I would be taking them to court. I really would. How can you lay us off and say there's no money, yet you're spending, millions and millions of pounds on players? It's mental.
Apparently, Leipzig want Højlund, don't they? Which kind of tips it in their favour, I think.
I mean, who the hell would want Højlund, to be quite honest? But
Ten Hag in charge, hasn't he?
Well, of course he is.
I think he is.
Yeah. No, Ten Hag's at Leverkusen, Billy.
Leverkusen,
yeah. Couple more super chats. LEDC says, who even knew about Sesko a month ago?
We've researched him loads of times.
At least, I think we've done him on a couple of transfer shows, at least over a couple of years, Billy, because his name's always cropped up in the press.
And that's a plus point for us, because obviously he'll know we've been interested in him in a while.
Yeah.
But having said that, so did Ekitike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Hillary, thank you for your super chat. Steve has been a member for 7 months. Surely RS should be questioned about allowing a player from another club to train at their ground with clearing it with Newcastle first. Well, let them get on in the background. I just found that astounding, me. I found it absolutely astounding. If he can travel to Spain and train, he can go to Asia. And don't give me all this, but it's a longer flight with an injury, bollocks. My back is crippled, let me tell you that. I can't walk 15 yards at the moment without being crippled. And I bloody flew on a plane. God, I'm not having that. Rich, with a super chat, we lost all striker bids early as nobody would be number 2 to Isak. Now we're running out of time to replace him. This window is all Isak's fault.
I won't blame all of him personally. I think a lot of it's down to the people in charge of the recruitment as well.
Our recruitment drive has probably been heavily, though, focused on we're looking for a second choice striker. I don't think anybody's backed on him going out the door this season. Otherwise, why hasn't he told us earlier? This is late in the window. He's fucked us over.
Yeah.
Right.
Biff by Adam West says Man United has to sell troublemakers to bid good on 48 hours. Shane Martin says 120 million and Harvey Elliott plus 10% sell on. Take it or leave it for me. Go and get Gahey too. Great show as always, guys and girls. I seen a report today saying we might go in at 40 million for Gahey. So I think that's a little bit high, if you ask me.
I agree.
We are desperate.
Steve back again. Is it Eddie Howe simply can't attract the top EU players? Dave Bannon says it's been made worse for us that the window is open longer because of the Club World Cup. It boils my piss. Just spend, break rules, sub the consequences. Interesting. We're in a state now where time is simply running out, and we are in a bit of a predicament, because I don't think this squad, as it is right now, is strong enough to go into this season what we're going to have to take on. I think it's going to be very, very difficult, because lessons should have been learned from 2 years ago when we actually got into a real bad state with injuries. We did incredibly well in the Champions League, to be honest, incredibly well, and should have gone through the group stage if it wasn't for a terrible penalty decision in Paris. So the players take a lot of plaudits for that. But the fact is, we didn't have the strength and depth to cope with everything, did we?
No, absolutely not. And at the minute, with Joe Lookout sensitive for a long time, we probably would have sold him anyway, but we're too short midfield. We need 2 strikers. We need a centre-half. We're 5 short of what the squad has to be, minimum, to go into a campaign with 4 competitions in it. I don't see us competing for any of them, if I'm perfectly honest, the way things are at the minute.
Yeah. The thing is, and we've got Visser as well at Brentford, who we're clearly still interested in. By the way, can I just say that I don't agree with Visser's behaviour either, at all. I think the players that do this, I think, are wrong. You know, Visser, I think was there not a verbal agreement with Visser apparently about a certain amount came in and he'd be able to move on. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I don't think anybody else does. But as far as I'm concerned, Visser should really have just got on with it, trained, stayed at Brent, let all the stuff go on behind the scenes. And then if he's got, obviously something's happened where, I don't know if somebody's left or who made the agreement with him or something like that. 27
Probably
million.
Thomas Frank. Probably Thomas
Well,
Frank.
maybe, yeah. And now Brentford are turning around saying that the manager's gone. Obviously, that doesn't stand anymore. That's an agreement you had with the former manager. So I understand where Brentford are coming from as well. But maybe he should have got it in writing. Maybe he should have got it in his contract. I don't know. But I don't agree with what he's doing. But I do think it's a little bit different to Isak. But players doing this to try and force moves, I think is wrong. But I'll not change my stance on that. But Sam, I watched a video from Brian, the True Geordie, last week. And he made some, obviously he is convinced now that the Premier League is rigged with this FFP thing. I'm not going to get too much into FFP, but he did make a point of saying, why are Newcastle United so concentrated on players playing in the Premier League? And this is before, obviously, the Sesko situation. So why aren't we out there trying to find the next Botman, Bruno, Tonali, etc.? Why are we not looking for these bargains abroad? Why are we so focused on just the UK?
100%. And we probably talked it to death before the transfer window even started. I was really looking forward to us diversifying where we actually looked. It's Premier League price tags that we're paying, Premier League proven. We know that that's what Eddie likes, and we've got a lot of competitions, so there's a lot to be said about that. We maybe don't have the time to get these, international players up to standard or see if they'd be able to cope with the Premier League. But like Billy's been saying, we've got the Harrods bag and we're filling it up with shopping from Aldi. It's hard to do. So we're going to have to get more creative. We're going to have to get more staff in. Is it that we aren't casting a wide enough net to find these little gems like we used to anymore? We need to change our recruitment tact drastically. Even for the January window, we need to do something drastic.
I mean, Billy, the thing is, I read a report a few days ago that there was an imminent announcement from Newcastle on a new CEO and director of football, actually naming the two who they were. But we've heard nothing since.
Yeah, just the communication is just, it's almost as if they're talking with tins on string, isn't it? Between themselves,
it's madness.
All of it, whether it's transfers, all the transparency that we had in abundance with Amanda and Mehrdad has just totally gone out the window for me. It's just, as I keep saying, we're a rudderless ship, and until we get these people in, then we're going to keep being that way. As for the PSR thing, I've got nothing against PSR, but if they'd have just moved the bloody ceiling with inflation, then it's fair comment, isn't it? But to still have £105 million, which it was in 2013, 14, whenever it started, It's absolute madness. And why the clubs aren't voting to get that changed, I will never know.
Well, Brian made a good point in his video about FFP, saying that he doesn't just want anything scrapped. And I think a lot of fans agree with this, that there has to be some rule in there to, stop a couple of clubs, like Newcastle, for example, just going there and spending billions of pounds every summer and winning the league that way. I think there has to be some sort of rule in place. But the problem we've got is the cartel clubs have so much influence over the Premier League, we're never going to see that happen. And other fans from
the ceiling with inflation. It's been 10, 15 years.
Yeah,
the same bloody ceiling. Ridiculous.
It's nothing is going to change on it, and we have to. And unless I guess, do the fans, are they going to protest? Are they going to do this? I mean, look at poor Morecambe today. And I have just read, by the way, just before we went live, somebody who was connected to Morecambe said that they're not. The limited company is still active at the moment. They are still registered with the National League, although suspended. So they haven't completely gone yet. But when you see that, a club that's been around since, 1920, I think it is, wow. It's disgusting. The money that's around in the Premier League, and we can't, and nobody can help Morecambe out. Come on. It's
Bury, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean, Bury, they're coming back now. Obviously, the fans managed to get well, I think it's all run by the fans now. They bought Gig Lane, didn't they? They bought it back. They did it up. It's still their home stadium now. But when you see these smaller clubs going out of business, these are sort of town. It's the whole town. You know what I mean? These 3,000 or 4,000 fans that go to these games, it's their getaway, just like it is for us with the bigger teams. But I don't understand in this day and age how on earth teams like, we can't help Morecambe. Sheffield Wednesday could be going out of business.
Yep.
I think Sheffield Wednesday, from what I read today, are very close to a takeover, which is great. Because no matter what I think of football teams, I do not want to see them go out of business because, just because it's Morecambe, Sam, it's no different to us as Newcastle fans. We're all fans of the football club.
Yeah, and it's often, where you're from, who took you to football games as a kid, who introduced you to football. That's the the badge that in the shirt that you wear. Yeah. So it's a shame for any club, like the history and tradition that's lost, and the entertainment for families that goes as well on that level, especially how accessible it is. I think why I'm really upset with the PL more so than usual is because don't they actually get a percentage of a player's sell-on fee as something as well? We obviously have to pay to be in the Premier League and all this type of stuff, but we can't actually help out clubs when they need it. We do parachute payments, we do balloon payments. Can we not set something up like that? But then the weird caveat, and how ironic is it that these clubs who might be able to potentially get bought out, you're putting people off because you've got these rules where we can't spend and invest in the business that they've taken over. So surely that has to come into the thinking when we look to protect lower league clubs from this sort of thing happening. It's an absolute disgrace, and it really doesn't make sense because one cancels out the other, and it's not fair.
Yeah. It's really sad, and
it's affecting the whole league apart from the cartel 6.
You're right,
of course it is.
And while they've got that Super League knife over the Premier League, if you don't do as we say, we're going to walk away. Nothing's going to change, is it?
Oh, they do.
It's just
the Premier League won't allow that, will they?
The whole thing's bollocks. The whole thing's absolute bollocks. But I want to get your take on Ramsdale coming in, because I mean. That's kind of just sort of
the damn squid.
Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about it, because I watched a video of him saying that he can't concentrate for 90 minutes. I don't know whether you guys picked up on that video or not. I don't know. Listen, I think Ramsdale's a decent keeper, and obviously Eddie thinks he can work with him. And a £4 million loan fee to me gives me the impression that he's coming in to be number one. We're not going to pay a £4 million loan fee just for him to sit in his arse. And quite frankly, Nick Pope hasn't exactly filled me with a lot of confidence in the friendlies.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that, Paul. And I think do you know what? He's a signed player now. He's wanted to come here, which is more than most of them. So we're gonna back him. I'm thrilled that he's here. Yeah, the concentration thing is worrying. He was at Arsenal. I mean, granted, I think anybody could look all right behind, that type of level of defence.
To be fair, the Arsenal fans have said they kicked off when he was dropped for Raya, didn't they? So
I mean, do you know what? For me, I think he's got more potential, and he's worked with Eddie before. So I'm happy to see that happen. For me, it's a done deal. We can move on with it. And I think actually the announcement about the directors and stuff, maybe they've just started to read the room, because they've put out that Ramsdale stuff, that these daft videos for these signings.
It was so bad, man.
I hate them.
Yeah,
no offense to the other little kid, the truant kid. That was a nice little trying to do a little local touch there. I hate these videos. They're just shite. So let's just read the room a little bit, which I think that they are. I'm happy to have Ramsdale in. He's another keeper. We love a keeper.
I think there's a little chance of him losing concentration at St James's Park. If he stood at the back post looking at the crowd while the ball's about to get in touch at the near post, I think the crowd will tell him.
Yeah, I think it's different. It's different at the Emirates, isn't it? Where it's
having a fag at the back post, scratching.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, Billy Dubravka linked with Burnley today on a £4 million move.
Yeah. Makes sense. I think that'll be a good signing for him.
Yeah,
that might be the difference between them staying up and going down.
I agree.
It may be. I think it's a good move for Dubravka. First team football. Apparently, Vlachodimos, they're really struggling to find a club for him.
Well, he wants to go to Europe, doesn't he?
I don't think they can sell him. I think it's a loan deal, Billy.
We can't sell him because obviously we're not going to get the money back, and he's on the PSR for another four years, so we can't sell him. But yeah, loan. He wants to go to Portugal, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Indeed. Flew over that coming home yesterday. Had a nice view of it down below. Looked really nice. Never been to Portugal actually. But look, the goalkeeper situation needs sorting out. But I have to say, I mean, Nick Pope made a good save through a 1-on-1. I can't remember who that was against.
Was it Tell?
Tell, yeah.
But
dear God, is distribution. I mean, it was nothing short of a sham again. And I have to say, if he starts as number one this season, I'm a little bit worried, because yes, he did fantastic the run in last season, but he is not filling me with confidence at all at the minute. And I think Ramsdale, for me, if we're paying that much for a loan fee, I understand people saying, well, we paid 30 million for Vlachodimos, but that was all mixed in with the Nottingham Forest PSR stuff. So don't pay any attention to that. Indeed. Yeah. A few more super chats to go through. Jazz says, not gay again. He's so overrated because he's English. Liverpool want him. We all know how that ends. There are much better centre-backs abroad. I can't disagree with that, to be fair. Yeah. Paul in super chat, make Isak sit on the bench or F off to Saudi. Peter Garthwaite, has the player told you he wants to leave, or are you just believing all the... Oh, Peter.
Well said, Peter. I agree with you.
Oh, shut your face, Trey.
Honestly.
Dylan says, Hope said CEO soon and sporting director late August. Yeah, we've heard that many times before. Jordan
you just normally get the post on, like, even on the app, the bit of news comes up. I don't know about anybody else. I haven't seen it, but we seem to know the names. I don't know.
Yeah. Thanks, Jordan, for the comment on my tan. I've been on holiday. What am I supposed to do?
You look good.
Insanity. Thank you. Insanity says Dele Alli is leaving Como. Get him in as Longstaff's replacement. Bring Brucey back as sporting director. More kebab shops found, the better.
I mean, you've got the right name. Dele Alli retired for starters, and that's for Steve Bruce. Fucking hell.
Has Dele retired? Has he announced that?
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Oh, okay. Ray Fagan says, make Isak take a 3-hour cold wheelie bin bath. I mean, listen.
You may have done that today.
Head first.
I mean, look, Neil Forster says, let's give Ramsdale a chance. Of course, absolutely, 100%. Listen, he pulls on a Newcastle shirt. We will give him a chance, absolutely. And I think, Sam, you made the point there, saying he wanted to come.
Yeah.
I think he actually had a chance to go to Sunderland earlier in the window and turned them down. So he's already a hero in my eyes for that.
I loved his interview. I thought his interview was great. I really enjoyed his interview. I thought it was a perfect interview,
Yeah. What did you think of the young Korean kid, by the way? He looks a player, doesn't he?
Absolute diamond.
I can't remember what he's called. I do.
Sung-Soo Park.
Sung-Soo Park.
Sung-Soo Park. There you go. Did I actually say poo there? I'm tired. Yeah, he looks a player, guys. I have to say, he's a really.
We've got some tricks.
He's confident as well for such a young kid.
Yeah. You know what he's got? He's got a bit of physicality about him as well for 19-year-old. South Korean. He's very, very physical.
Yeah, he is absolutely. I think. Well, listen. If you're good enough, you're old enough, as far as I'm concerned. And if he wants to put it about,
it's not always the case.
Well, yeah. Okay.
I'll keep him at the club. I wouldn't loan him out. I think
I
especially
agree.
if Joe will look a bit injured, he can stay and play some games, maybe Carabao Cup, FA Cup, whatever.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'd want him to have the best training support around him. Can you imagine if he had that intensity, building up, learning from the best as well? I think he's an absolute diamond. And it sounds horrible to say, I actually thought that he was more threatening than Asula in the games that I've seen him in. Billy's right. He had the tricks. He is raw, but he is a diamond just waiting to be chiseled.
Yeah. I really liked what I saw from him, I have to say. So fingers crossed. Cadero, of course, has gone to the Belgian Pro League on loan. We wish him all the best as well. Kowal is still at Newcastle. I don't think there's been a loan deal for him. So interesting if he's keeping a few of the kids around this time. So we'll have to wait and see. I like coffee with the super chat saying I'd like to see Park develop with us, not on loan. Mark Mullins, give me Ramsdale over Pope any day. Pope doesn't give me any confidence at all, and Park looks a real talent. Insanity says Delhi hasn't retired, it's just speculation. And Andy H says we should offer Isak to PSG, 100 million plus Ramos. I guess. Listen, I would rather, if Isak does go, I think everybody would rather he goes abroad than stays in the Premier League.
Of course.
100%.
Because I just, it's awful. But
someone said earlier that Bayern Munich don't pay big money for their players. They paid 900 million for Harry Kane. He was 30.
Yeah.
I mean, Alexander Isak's worth a lot more than that, and he'll be 26.
And by the way, all these bitter Liverpool fans going on about fair market value. Really? You want to go into that? We'll gloss over that on your behalf, guys. And listen, I did mention Liverpool earlier on in the earlier video. If you haven't seen that one, go back and watch it after the show. However, I did say that, away from all this Isak garbage with Liverpool, I think Liverpool have built up over the last 15 years or so to where they are now. I think they've been, they have had to sell a lot of top players in the past to get where they are now. So, if you look at Liverpool's build over the last 15 years, I think they've done okay. I think they've been managed the right way. Is it FSG?
Yeah, I think it's Brendan Rodgers onwards, isn't it? And
listen,
Klopp coming in and really, really spurred them on. And the money they got for Coutinho, simple as that for me.
But the owners took a lot of hammer early doors, didn't they? But it's worked out well for them. And if I want to see Newcastle build like that, of course I do. But the financial rules have to change a little bit. Right, we'll do the final super chats, then we'll look at the poll, which I can already see is going to make me fucking angry. Dylan Richardson says Shola will send him to Kazakhstan, 3rd division. Oh, I wouldn't surprise me.
Park, potentially.
Yeah, Anya with a super chat. Thanks, Anya. Right, the poll, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, would we like to speculate on what the poll is? I asked you earlier on in the show, would you welcome Isak back?
What
do you reckon?
Not a clue. I thought it's going to be a majority that will say no, but hopefully it won't be as big as what people will think it would be.
Sam?
Honestly, I'm nervous given what you said before. I'm starting to doubt our loyal fan base here. Whoa. People making me uncomfortable.
Basically, the result is, and bear in mind, we've had 1,500 votes on this. Would you welcome Isak back? 41% said yes.
Wow, that's more than I thought.
And 59% said no. So 41% of you out there are utterly insane.
Been listening to Billy spouting his mouth off with forgiveness.
It's a business, though, isn't it? It's a commodity. It's not just about loyalty and stuff anymore. You've got to take the financial part into it as well.
He's not going to play well in the sandpit anymore, though. He's not a team player. He's a rat.
Well, it just says to me that he called me insane, Paul. Yes, it was a bit of banter. Let's not get... Oh, it's banter, guys.
Hi, Trev.
Mars's 41% are clearly not Geordies. Ab said, wow, am I agreeing with Abs here? Where's that gone? Let me just find that. Ab says, so it's a majority yes. Now fuck off, Isak.
Well, when you get the money for him, then yeah, fuck off, Isak. Simple and straightforward as that for me.
Yeah, Billy, you haven't really sounded like that, I have to say.
We want the money, £150 million. You know,
well, I don't think your voice could go any higher than that, but...
Well, it could.
Look, we'll have to wait and see how the situation goes. But I guarantee that things are going to start changing. Things need to change. By the way, speaking of change, there's going to be change up to some of the shows. I am going to start bringing in a 9:30 a.m. breakfast show. And you know,
you getting up at that time?
Sam, I'm up at 7 every day. I'm well up by 9:30.
Well.
Do you know what? I was up at 6:30 every morning. We were on holiday. I was down on the sunbeds at 10 to 7. Olivia, my eldest daughter, she came with us. She was down there at 10 to 7 every morning.
Meet the Germans, eh? Fucking great. Good work.
There wasn't many around, Billy, to be fair.
Why not?
No.
On the beaches.
Let's not go there, please. Yeah, so I'm going to bring a live breakfast show and maybe, just talk about the early breaking news. And it's going to be called Breakfast Toon.
Don't a bacon sandwich doing?
Fuck off, Billy. So breakfast Toon instead of breakfast time, and we'll just cover the early morning news. I just think that'll be a good half an hour show, maybe on a morning. The videos will stay. I am going to do a live match reaction after each game this season, after the commentary. Billy and Alex will obviously do the continue on the Patreon with their reactions. I will do a live reaction. Get your take straight after the game. The reviews, etc., will stay, and the player ratings and all that we'll do on the live show as well the following day, as per usual. So they're just a few little change-ups that we're going to do. The videos, news videos will still stay if there's any breaking news throughout the day, live shows on the nighttime, etc. So loads of shows coming your way on the Toon Review. So please make sure that you are subscribed. Thank you to everybody that has subscribed recently. Welcome to the channel. A massive thank you from all of us. Please don't forget to hit the like button as well. It's massively important for us. Peter, what happened to the zip? Why are people asking about the zip line? I can't do the zip line until it's announced, until they do a one. I'm not going to get on an invisible zip line because I'll fall to the ground.
Just do it on your washing line in the back garden. That'll do, won't it?
Yes, Billy.
No, and don't worry, folks. I keep an eye. I've got notifications on for when they're on again, just so Paul doesn't miss out on that opportunity. And nor will you. I've got your backs, everyone.
There you go. See, so don't worry. Carl says breakfast time.
That's better.
Okay, Carl. Okay, you've won me over with that. Breakfast time. Thank you.
Very good.
Okay. When is the 40,000 subscriber party? We might do that. We need to do that at some point, don't we?
We ain't far from 41, are we?
Well, yeah, we're certainly almost halfway to 41 now. It's been
a milestone.
Incredible.
We'll have to celebrate it.
Yeah, maybe Friday night. TDR Friday celebration party.
Oh, Stato won't be here. Stato's not here. He's coming up for the match.
Yeah, we've got Stato here.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Stato. I didn't mean that negatively, by the way. I forgot about Stato.
He's traveling to God's country.
He is. Thursday we're doing a preview with the Cellar Cup, so we can't do it. We'll fit it in. We'll sort it out. We'll do it.
Something.
Don't worry. It's not going anywhere. But anyway, thank you for watching tonight, guys. Make sure you do smash the like button and, of course, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching this on a rerun, you can still super chat the channel, send in a donation by hitting the thanks button, which is simply the thumbs up underneath. It just says thumbs up with a thanks next to it. You can super chat that way if you're watching on a rerun. But thank you very much. Thank you for your super chats, memberships, etc. Mods, thank you very much. And of course, thanks to Sam and Billy and to you guys out there. Absolute legends. Great conversation tonight, guys. It really was. Lots of people pissed off. Some not so much, Billy. But we will see you on the next one. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your night. That's it for tonight. Good night and yoo-hoo!
Away the lads and lasses.
Come back and check on some breathing. When I'm untouchable, and you're untouchable. Are you back there for tragic? So much trouble, make magic.